Hi guys, welcome back to Universe Within. I'm Lauren Taylor and this is your weekly reading for April the 18th through the 24th. Sorry I'm a day late, you guys. I just ended up having a really busy day off yesterday and a busy weekend, so I just didn't have time to get the videos recorded. But I appreciate you guys' patience. This video is for Pisces also. Let's see what we got for this week. Okay. So for your career and finance, we have the One of Water and the Wisdom card. And I remember, like, in the previous weeks, for career and finance, there was a lot of, like, feeling burnt out at work, or feeling like you were using too much energy with work, or feeling like you had to kind of be reserved with your resources. This is showing me that money is good this week. Your pockets are kind of getting a little recharged there. Your cup's, overflowing. It's not overflowing in this picture, but in the traditional tarot, the Ace of Cups is kind of overflowing. And in certain branches of magic, we do a ceremony at the end of a ritual where we charge our wine and cakes, which is kind of like our communion, and we charge it like that. So it's kind of just showing me that there's an extra charge in your financial region, and that you have kind of brought yourself into balance. You've figured out a practical way to balance out your work life and your life so that you're not feeling so burnt out, and so that you're starting to actually bring in a little bit more money, or maybe you just have a little extra money in your pocket this week, which is cool. So for home and health, we have Imbolc and the Four of Fire, which is Mars, the god of war. So I'm feeling like home life is a little hot and cold still. I feel like somebody has a little bit of aggressive energy this week, which would make sense because, there's something going on with Mars. I can't remember exactly specifically what it is, but when I was reading like my weekly astrological stuff, actually this was last week, there was stuff going on with Mars that was causing a little bit of an aggressive energy down here. So just be careful, be aware of that, of, your temper. Because this is kind of coming across as like she's tempering the water. Like she's got this frozen, pond that she's kind of thawing with her warm water over here. So she's tempering that. And this is like a full-blown aggressive person. So watch tempers at home this week. This could be, as far as health goes, somebody that might need and remember, this is a general reading, so this is going to be a message for a very small group of people, but this might be somebody who might need some anger management issues because they seem to be really hot and cold all the time. That's obviously not for everybody. Everybody knows what, they need and what will work best for them, but that might be an avenue to explore if you're feeling like there's a lot of aggression and you're not really, you're not feeling like you're able to get a good grip on it. There's lots of professionals out there that can help you do that. And they're not all fluffy bunny types, you can find a professional that meshes well with you and that makes you feel like you're benefiting from their help. I'm not really getting a whole lot for health. It's just more of like this hot and cold feeling in the house, or like somebody's just really aggressive. So just watch tempers this week, okay? This is like a little like visual I'm getting, is like somebody is at home, they've had like a day off and they're chill, they're in Zen mode, they're just kind of cleaning, whatever, and then the other person comes home from work like pissed off, throws their shit down on the table and is just like grumpy for no reason, you know. It's like that kind of stuff. Like there's just an aggressive energy to be aware of this week. For romance and love, we have the Ten of Water and the Maiden of Fire, which is my Aries card. So you could be in a relationship with an Aries person, some of you. But what this is really saying to me is that you're realizing that you have options, and that and you're wanting to make the choice based on what's gonna make you, or what's gonna help ignite your inner flame, or what's gonna help keep your inner flame going. You want to make the choice based on what your deepest desires are. And I know that kind of seems like pretty vague information, like, duh, of course, you know, we want to make that choice. And, you know, there's 3 pathways here. Obviously, she can go further down the road with somebody, she can, you know, date around, or she can be single. So, and obviously we know that those are some of the options that we have in dating. So I know that information might be vague, but sometimes we forget that we actually have options. Sometimes we get ourselves so caught up in a situation that, you know, we might be putting in all this energy into a relationship or relationship type situation. I'm sorry, I'm jumbling my words. It's still a little early. Sometimes we just need to be reminded that we have choices and options, because it's kind of looking like, here's the eclipse. So, and when the moon is out, it illuminates, you know, the mysteries, and illuminates stuff that is stuff in the night. So, like, you know, the night is mysterious, but with the moon, you know, it illuminates some of those shadowy things of the night. But it's eclipsed here, so I'm kind of feeling like before you weren't seeing all of your paths ahead of you, and now you are, and you're just wanting to make, you know, you're going to move forward in a direction that's really going to come from your innermost desire. And you just want to make the choice that's really gonna just let your inner fire burn and bring a lot of passion into your life. And that could be with somebody, and it also could be without somebody, because we can bring our own passion into our own lives just as well as somebody else can bring it in there for us. So I think this is really just, you know, evaluating where you are in your love life, and making a proper decision on where you're going to go to move forward. That's going to bring you the most fulfillment. All right, so for the for the outcome and advice and overall energy of the week, we have the Maiden of Air and the Six of Fire, which is Saturn. And Saturn is the planet that when Saturn kind of shows up in your chart, it stays for a long time wherever it's at, and during that time you're learning a lot of life lessons, and these are like the deep, big life lessons. And you can kind of see these little salamanders here. Can you see them? They're kind of walking around the rings of Saturn, and it's like dizzying. It's like they're in a cycle. They're going and going and going, and this guy is like been in this cycle for a long time. He's looking to chop himself a path to get out of it. He's been here for a long time because his clothes are all torn up, but he's been made really strong because of whatever it is, you know, whatever life lesson it is that he's learning. So I'm feeling like you're realizing you're being made aware of a cycle that you've been in. You know, it could be in a relationship, since it's kind of showing that you're realizing your options, or the paths you can take in a relationship. It could be that you're in a solid, good relationship, but you're seeing all the different many paths that relationship can take. Where before, you just weren't seeing your path clearly. You are now, and I think it's because you've realized that you might have been part of a life cycle that you were going through, or a lesson that needed to be learned. And I think you're kind of realizing it, because this card is somebody who made a new discovery, and she's not running towards it because it's still a new discovery, but it's something beautiful. All these birds are coming from this new discovery. It's like the light is ahead of her, but she's still curious, and she's still planning her moves forward. So I think you guys are just breaking out of some cycles, or at least being made aware of some, when I say cycles, I mean life lessons, because sometimes we go around in a cycle until we've learned the lesson, and then we can finally break out of it. For me personally, a lot of my life lessons have come from relationships. So I've found that I've kind of dated the same people over and over, and different people, but the same situations, until I learned this one major lesson, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's why this didn't work out. That's why this happened. You realize it comes from you, and once you are made aware of what that life lesson is, you never look back. You learn that lesson and you move on, and you change your life accordingly, and you're done with that life lesson, hopefully for the rest of your life, So that's really cool. Let's go ahead and pick a oracle card, just to give us a little extra energy here, or extra little tidbit of information, or just a vibe to carry with us for the week. So this is for Pisces. Pisces. Okay. This is the White Tara, and it's sensitivity. And it says, you're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, and situations and chemicals. And I think we got a detox card either last week or the week before. So hopefully you guys are still paying attention to your physical needs, and you're paying attention to what you're putting in your body. I think we had that card that was reminding you guys to make sure you're taking in a lot of water, getting outside and being in nature, that sort of thing. But also this kind of goes in with this cycle thing. You can see there's a circle, and it's circles represent the completion of a cycle. So I think you're being this could also mean that you're becoming more sensitive of your place in life. You're becoming more sensitive to the way that you affect your life and the life of others. You're becoming more sensitive to what we said here, that life lesson that you've been learning for the past probably few years. I'm gonna say that this cycle has probably been going on for a good 5 years, just based on some of the numbers that are coming up in the cards. I'm seeing anywhere from 2 to 7 years range is the time frame that this life cycle has been going on. But it's the end of it, because you're becoming aware of it. So it's one that's coming to an end. I don't think it's completely closed up yet, but it's the beginning of it. So that's really cool. And because you're becoming more sensitive of those things, make sure you're really taking care of your physical needs as well, and not just focusing on your emotional needs and things like that. Okay? Alright guys, if this video didn't resonate with you fully, make sure you check out your rising sign and moon sign videos. Also, you can message me for a personal reading. Those range from $7 to $10. $7 gets you 3 cards. $10 gets you, oh, did I say 7 to 10? 7 to 15, I'm sorry. $7 gets you 3 cards. $10 gets you 5 cards, and $15 gets you 10 cards. You can have a specific topic in mind when we do your personal reading, or I'll just go ahead and lay the cards out and we can see what comes up and go really in depth, just one-on-one. So message me if you're interested in one of those. Otherwise, have a great week, you guys, and I'll see you next week.